Hello, I'm Floyd and welcome to World of Tanks. Starting things a little differently today. I thought we'd have a quick look at it in the garage before we get on to and see the game. So the first thing to note about the PZ 1C is its speed, but more noticeably it's a 79 kilometers an hour, and its traverses at 48 degrees a second. Makes it quite manoeuvrable. I don't think it's the most manoeuvrable tank in its tier, but I think it's got to be in the top 5. But it's definitely the fastest. I say definitely. I don't know for certain. I'm just going by some of the tanks that I've already got, which are primarily gold tanks, apart from the PZ and the M8A1. Everything else is gold in the lower tiers for me. But the Stuart is known as one of the faster tanks, and that does 64 kilometers an hour. And then you've got the T15, which is also a gold tank, which does 60. The only other fast tank I know is actually a tier 2, and that does 72, and that's the T2 light tank, which I can't remember the last time I played that. So getting back to the PZ, so I believe it's got to be the fastest tank. If not, it's got to be in the top 3. And with its traverse, it's quite good, but I believe that there are better tanks out there in that tier that will manoeuvre a little bit quicker, but that's still damn good. So the armour on it is not great. You're going to be seeing tier 5, so they're not really going to be worried about your armour too much. You've only got 30 at the front in the hull, and 30 at the front in the front of the turret as well. Going to the sides of the hull, you're going down to 20 on the hull sides and 20 on the rear, and to the turret you're 14 sides and 14 in the rear. So yeah, you're not going to be stopping too much. But to be fair, you shouldn't be stopping too much in terms of when you're moving around the map anyway. If you're going to do a little bit of peeking, then that's fine, but you don't want to be sitting in a bush and trying to snipe. The gun just won't allow it. It's a clip you're firing, and I believe it's something along the lines of 40 shots. So you fire off the clip and it just goes off like a little machine gun, and it does 8 damage, 8 approximate damage at a time. So that'll vary 6, 7, 8, but it will happen very rapidly. I say that you've only got 33 millimeters of penetration on standard ammunition, so when you come up against the 4s and 5s, that's not generally going to go through. I mean, if you can get on the rear, it may do, but not everyone will. So what I had to resort to, I'm ashamed to say, is I had to resort to gold. It's not something I generally do, but it's the only way to get, well, for me anyway, to get it to work. But if you can do it without resorting to gold, then you're a far better player than I am. So anyway, I think what we'll do is we'll shoot straight into the PZ1C as requested, and I didn't want to put it up straight away because obviously I've never driven the tank before, and I wanted to get a feel of it. So I've played about a dozen games in it, I suppose. First 5 were absolutely terrible. It took me a little bit of time to get into the mindset. It's just because I'm in tier 3 and it's not necessarily going to be a turkey shoot. So once I got my head around that, and that new players can actually fire guns, things worked out much better. I've just pulled it back a bit and then treated it like I would a higher tier game, conservative when need to, and attack. The thing is about some of these really fast tanks is you tend to get yourself into a lot of trouble fairly early on because you're so fast. You tend to rush off into the enemy and then just die, and you've got to rein that in, and you've got to bring yourself back. It's a lesson I had, a big lesson actually, in the Hellcat and other tanks like it, and this one is no exception. As great as it is, the penetration on the gun is not brilliant. I could not get AP to work with this gun. You fire it, and every so often one will go in, because you can't exactly aim it. It's you're firing a clip. There you go. It's an example of rushing forward and dying early on. I do go back for this guy, and then I realise it's not actually everyone goes back for this guy, and I would have preferred the higher tier tanks to kept moving forward and leave it to the lower tiers, like myself or whoever's in the area. But so I've decided against that. Turned back around because we've got tier 5 medium PZ over there, and I think there's a T28, which is a tier 4 medium, which used to be a great tank until they nerfed it. Used to love that early on. The PZ could well have a derp gun, I'm not 100% sure. He hasn't got the big turret on though, I notice. So I'm firing gold, but that was generally what was happening with AP. The odd one would pierce, the odd one would go through. It was not good. And even Gold's not going to get in the front of that tier 5 medium. I need to get around the back and sides to penetrate him. So even though I am firing Gold, you know, I felt it didn't feel, one, it didn't feel right that I was in the lower tiers. Two, it didn't feel right I was having to spam Gold. If you watch any of my videos, you will hopefully you'll see that spamming Gold is not something that I generally do. Back off. Wait for him to fire. He's fired. Okay, back off again. Got to wait for that PZ to fire. He could have a derp gun on that. I have no idea. No, it doesn't look like a derp gun actually. It looks a bit hefty. He's fired. I've got none in the clip. Oh, we've lost our TD. Keeping an eye on the map. If you'll notice, the tanks are moving away. In fact, they're chasing the A20. They seem to be all doing it. I am with the A20, R820, which is he's a decent player. So I'll try and spot, and then we'll see. Oh no, he's coming away as well. By the looks of it, he's moving south on the map. Where's he going? No, what's in front? T70's still. Oh, he's coming back to T70, and no, he's running away. He might be going to do a bit of flanking. We'll follow. There's no point staying there on our own. We can't take one of those on head on. In fact, I wouldn't say we can take one of those on our own anyway. We'd definitely need help or a distraction. So we're going to move up with the A20. We may not go left. I think he's going to go left. Yeah, he's gone left. We're going to go and take out the KA or the Kehu. The Kehu? The KEHO we call that. This guy here. We're going to go and kill this guy here. So we'll go straight in the back. That's what you see when people fire this gun. So I can't imagine. Oh, down fire, quick fire pack. Gonna need that engine repaired. There we go. When you see people firing this tank, you don't see the odd one going in. You generally see a line of numbers coming off them. So I'm presuming that the way to go with this tank is to fire Gold. And I took about 8 or 9 games before I actually I bit the bullet and loaded, stuck a load of Gold into it. I haven't put it completely Gold in there, as you can see, but it definitely makes a difference with this tank. This is not going to be a tank you're going to make a lot of money on if you're firing Gold. If you're firing, you're not going to do a lot of penetration, you're not going to make a lot of damage, you could get spotting, but you're not going to earn money in this vehicle. If you're a new player, do not drive this exclusively. You will not get far because you'll be constantly skint. You'll have no credits. You need to run this one as a fun tank every now and again. It's not going to do you any good to be running this all the time. I mean, I've got a fair few tanks. I haven't got millions of credits. I did have once upon a time, but I haven't at the minute. And I wouldn't run this all the time. It'd be like every now and again a little fun platoon or something like that. But if you're progressing up and you're having to go through this tank, this can be very expensive for you. So you possibly want to find a tank that you can make money in and run that mostly, and then run this one, say every 3rd game or something like that, because to try and recoup your money. You're not going to lose loads, but you are going to lose credits. You're not going to make credits on it. So we've got pretty much the map's cleared. It was such a fast game, but they're fairly new players, which is why I do feel a bit uncomfortable down in tier 3. You're going with we're going with experience. The A2 is going to go that way once he's spotted him, which he has. I'm going to go. He's aiming his way. Good. Yeah. It's just. Don't know what the M4's complaining about. I thought it was a lot of fun. Anyway, we ended up with a class 1 and a string of other medals. I'm not sure what they are. And we're at the right end of the scoreboard as well. For tier 3 and a tier 5 game, I was quite pleased with that result. So now we get to the nitty gritty. 176 fired. Wow. 126 of those hit, and about only 90 of them penned. That's with Gold. With a 7,500 total damage. And then we get this is the real bit. This you should be interested in more than anything else. Is the cost of the thing. Non-premium we'd have got 12k, and with premium we earn 18. It cost with premium 52,000. Yeah, yes, you're not going to make much in this tank. So if even with the 18 premium rewarded, it still costs you a fair amount. So yeah, it's not going to be an easy one to play, this one. But you do earn, well, I did earn about 1,200 base experience. All right, I added times 3, which put it up to 3,000. But you're still going to earn experience with it. You're just not going to make any credits.